What if I told you that a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes or prediabetes doesn't have to be a life sentence of medication, finger pricks, and constant worry? What if the goal wasn't just to manage your condition, but to fundamentally reverse it to a point where your A1C is in the optimal non-diabetic range? We're talking the low 50s, all without a single prescription? For so many of my patients, this sounds like a fantasy. They come to me frustrated and, honestly, a little hopeless. They've been told by their doctors that their best hope is to keep their A1C below 7%, that they'll be on metformin or other drugs for the rest of their lives, and that the disease will inevitably progress. They've been given a plan for managing sickness, not a strategy for creating true health. But I'm here today to tell you there is another way. A path based not on magic or wishful thinking, but on the concrete, verifiable principles of human physiology. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain and giving you the exact science-backed framework I use in my practice to help people take back control of their metabolism and achieve what they were told was impossible. This isn't just about lowering a number on a lab report. This is about rebuilding your body from the cells up to be a robust, energetic, and metabolically flexible machine. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Diabetes Medic. For those of you who are new here, my name is Dr. Frank Maxwell, and I'm a health researcher and educator. My passion is to dig through the complex world of medical science and distill it into practical, powerful strategies that you can use to build a body that resists disease instead of just managing it. Today, we are tackling the holy grail of diabetes reversal, achieving a non-diabetic A1C in the 5% range without lifelong medication. The script that is typically handed out is one of drug dependency. But the script we're going to write today is one of empowerment. My promise to you is this. By the end of this detailed video, you will understand the exact three-pillar system I use with my patients. This isn't just a list of tips. This is a comprehensive, integrated protocol that addresses the root cause of high blood sugar. You will leave this video with a clear, actionable blueprint to begin your own journey toward metabolic freedom. So, if you're ready to stop managing a disease and start building exceptional health, you're in the right place. Let's get started. The entire protocol is built on a simple but profound understanding. Type 2. Diabetes is not a disease of high blood sugar. That's just the symptom. It is a disease of insulin resistance fueled by a state of chronic energy toxicity. Your body's cells are simply overflowing with stored energy. Our entire approach is about fixing that root cause. We do this by implementing a three-pillar metabolic reset protocol. Pillar 1. Strategic fueling and nutrient re-education. This first pillar is the most critical, and it goes far beyond the simplistic advice of eat less sugar. We have to fundamentally change how and what your body uses for fuel. First, we implement time-restricted eating, TRE. We have to give your body a break. For years, your pancreas has been working overtime, pumping out insulin in response to constant meals and snacks. TRE, often a 16 to 8 schedule where you eat within an 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours, is the first step in quieting that hormonal noise. Here's the science. During the 16-hour fast, your insulin levels plummet. This is the signal your body needs to finally switch from energy storage mode to energy burning mode. It first starts burning through the stored sugar, or glycogen, in your liver. Once that's depleted, it can begin to tap into your stored body fat for fuel, a process called lipolysis. This fasting period is non-negotiable. It's the daily metabolic reset button that allows your cells to finally become sensitive to insulin again. It's like leaving a noisy room. Only in the quiet can you begin to hear the whispers of insulin again. Second, we completely overhaul macronutrient composition. The focus is on a whole foods, nutrient-dense diet that is low in refined carbohydrates and rich in protein and healthy fats. Carbohydrates are not the enemy, but their source and quantity are critical. We eliminate all refined sugars, flours, and processed carbs. Carbohydrates come exclusively from non-starchy vegetables, low-glycemic fruits like berries, and small, strategic portions of starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes, timed after a workout when your muscles are most receptive. The goal is to get your carbs from sources that are packaged with fiber. Fiber is your blood sugar's best friend. It slows down the absorption of sugar, prevents sharp spikes in glucose and insulin, and feeds your gut microbiome, which plays a huge role in metabolic health. Protein becomes the centerpiece of every meal. I have my patients aim for at least 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein per meal. Why? Protein is highly satiating, meaning it keeps you full and kills cravings. It has a minimal impact on insulin compared to carbs. Most importantly, it provides the building blocks to maintain and grow muscle mass, which, as we'll see in Pillar 2, is one of the most powerful long-term strategies for blood sugar control. Fat is not to be feared, it's to be embraced. Healthy fats from sources like avocados, olive oil, nuts, and seeds have virtually zero impact on insulin. They provide steady, long-lasting energy and are crucial for hormone production and reducing inflammation, a key driver of insulin resistance. So, a patient's plate goes from being 60% carbohydrates to being a balanced mix of protein, healthy fats, and fiber-rich vegetables. We're not just taking things away, we are strategically adding in the nutrients that heal the metabolism. Pillar 2. Intelligent and purposeful. Movement exercise is not about burning calories as a punishment for eating. In our protocol, movement is a tool we use to re-sculpt your body's entire glucose management system. We focus on two specific types of exercise. First is resistance training. This is non-negotiable. I tell my patients that building and maintaining skeletal muscle is like building a bigger sugar sponge. Your muscles are the primary storage site for glucose in your body. When you eat carbohydrates, the sugar is stored in your muscles as glycogen. The more muscle mass you have, the more storage capacity you have. When you lift weights or do body weight exercises, you create tiny micro tears in the muscle. As your body repairs and rebuilds that muscle, it becomes stronger and more insulin sensitive. The act of muscle contraction itself can pull glucose out of the bloodstream without needing insulin through those GLUT4 transporters we've talked about before. My patients aim for 3 to 4 full-body resistance training sessions per week. This is the long-term solution. It's building a metabolically healthy infrastructure for the rest of your life. Second is Zone 2 cardio. This is low to moderate intensity aerobic exercise, like a brisk walk, a light jog, or cycling where you can still hold a conversation. The goal here isn't to be breathless, it's to train your mitochondria. Mitochondria are the tiny power plants inside your cells. In people with insulin resistance, these power plants are often dysfunctional. They're great at burning sugar, but terrible at burning fat. Zone 2. Cardio specifically trains your mitochondria to become more efficient at using fat for fuel. The more you can rely on fat for your baseline energy needs, the less you rely on a constant drip of sugar, and the more stable your blood glucose will be. This is how you achieve true metabolic flexibility. I incorporate the 15-minute fasted morning walk as a daily mitochondrial tune-up, with 2 to 3 longer 45-minute Zone 2 sessions per week. Pillar 3. Foundational health and lifestyle integration. This is the pillar that most people ignore, but in my experience, it's the glue that holds everything together. You can have the perfect diet and exercise plan, but if you neglect these foundational elements, your progress will stall. First, we aggressively optimize sleep. A single night of poor sleep can induce a state of insulin resistance in a perfectly healthy person. When you're sleep deprived, your body releases more cortisol, the primary stress hormone. Cortisol tells your liver to release stored glucose into the bloodstream, raising your blood sugar. It also makes your cells more resistant to insulin. We implement a strict sleep hygiene protocol, consistent bedtime, going to bed and waking up at the same time, even on weekends, to regulate your circadian rhythm. Total darkness, using blackout curtains and removing all sources of blue light from the bedroom. Cool environment. Keeping the bedroom temperature cool, as a drop in core body temperature is a signal for sleep. No screens before bed. Shutting off phones, TVs, and computers at least an hour before bed, as the blue light suppresses melatonin, your sleep hormone. Getting 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep is not a luxury, it is a metabolic necessity. Second, we actively manage stress. Just like poor sleep, chronic stress keeps you in a state of high alert, with cortisol constantly pouring into your system. This directly sabotages your blood sugar control efforts. I'm not just talking about psychological stress. I'm talking about the physiological stress from over-exercising, under-eating, or dealing with chronic inflammation. We introduce simple daily stress management practices. This could be a 10-minute morning meditation, practicing box breathing, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, or simply taking a quiet walk in nature without your phone. These practices help shift your nervous system from the fight or flight sympathetic state to the rest and digest parasympathetic state, which is where healing and hormonal balance can occur. Finally, we ensure micronutrient sufficiency. While our protocol is food first, we acknowledge that years of a poor diet can leave people deficient in key nutrients that support metabolic health. The most common ones I see are magnesium, which is a critical cofactor in hundreds of enzymatic reactions, including those for insulin signaling, and chromium, which helps insulin bind to its receptors more effectively. We focus on incorporating magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, but sometimes supplementation under a doctor's guidance is needed to correct a deficiency. So, to recap the entire system, Pillar 1 is strategic fueling, using time-restricted eating and a whole foods diet low in refined carbs and rich in protein and fat to lower insulin. Pillar 2 is intelligent movement, using resistance training to build bigger sugar sponges, and Zone 2 cardio to improve fat burning. Pillar 3 is foundational health, aggressively optimizing sleep and managing stress to balance the hormones that control blood sugar. This isn't a quick fix. It's a systematic rebuilding of your metabolic health from the ground up. But the results are profound. When you stop treating the symptom, high blood sugar, and start relentlessly targeting the root cause, insulin resistance and energy toxicity, your body has no choice but to heal. Ready to stop being a patient who manages a disease and start becoming the CEO of your own health? This 3-pillar protocol is your blueprint. It requires dedication, but the freedom on the other side is worth every bit of the effort. If this deep dive protocol has opened your eyes to what's possible, and you want more of the science-backed strategies I use to help people build extraordinary health, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now. Join the Diabetes Medic family, where we provide real answers for real results. And for today's question, of the 3 pillars, fueling, movement, and foundational health, which one do you feel has been the biggest missing piece in your own health journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for investing your time with me today. Now that you have the complete framework, you might be wondering about the specifics of what to eat. I cover that in detail in my video right here on the screen called The Top 5 Foods That Unclog Your Cells and Reverse Insulin Resistance. It's the perfect next video to watch. Click on it now and I'll see you over there.